dubious, skeptical of the idea of having a blank computer interface, something where you could control a computer with your mind. I thought that was a possible, but in a very, very long future. Telepathy, for us to communicate with each other with thinking. It is the ability to treat mental illness because we can do the map of the brain in real time without having to go to the hospital. Lie on the machine as a way to inspect the brain. It's a way to people who are quadriplegic to control the maybe talk. It's a way to do telepathy and think. So far, we've seen no evidence of any kind of automation decreasing employment. Everywhere we've looked, including with AI, we see the automation shifting jobs, changing the tasks that people do within a job, but we don't see any loss of jobs. Right now, even though there are AI coming, so we cannot find enough workers. So I think it's a fear brought by Hollywood and our imaginations. But when we look at the evidence, we don't see it. There are reasons why I think we don't see it. The simplest being that while some tasks are eliminated from humans, most of the tasks that are eliminated are tasks that humans don't really want to do. There are jobs that we should not be doing. And it's really good that they go to AIs and that leverage the human to do something else. And that's usually what happens. And it's often a job that has different tasks, and some of those tasks go to AI. Other tasks are what humans do more of. So maybe in that one particular one that you need less people, but we have other jobs that we want done that are invented by new technologies, by automations, AI, so the net gains as positive. Are you worried that laws and ethics will not be able to keep up with the constantly emerging technologies such as autonomous weapons? Autonomous weapons is a very serious concern. Weaponizing technology is inevitable, very hard to control, but it's possible. So we have agreements already for outlawing biological weapons, chemical warfare, and nuclear weapons. So in theory, outlaws autonomous weapons, but it's not something that we should. So I hold out the possibility that by enabling robots, let's say to kill, that we would understand it that we shouldn't let human kill either. What is worse? Is it worse to have the robot kill a human, or is it worse to have a human kill a human? It's worse to have a human kill a human. The damage, the psychological damage it does to a human is much more severe than the risk of having a robot kill a human. And so the problem is not the fact that we would have robot killers, is that we would allow in any way human killers, human world. So I think in this case it's a very tricky thing. We don't want a lot of robot killers, but I don't want human soldiers either. So I think it's going to be a very tricky thing to figure out. Banning them, I absolutely banning is not possible because the definition of autonomy is slippery itself. So we will tolerate them in some degree of having instances, but I'm hoping that those examples, those times will force us to re-examine our endorsement of word or our toleration of word of any sorts.